Hey everybody, sorry for the delay. Professor Doom here. My app keeps crashing while I'm trying to record videos. Let's try this again. I want to welcome all new individuals to the channel. I encourage everybody to comment in the comment section. I do read everything. And also, if you are new here, please, I encourage you to subscribe to my two backup channels. I do have 2 strikes on this channel right here. So you will be finding that I have to be very careful about the videos that I put up on this channel. So please subscribe to the 2 backup channels, Professor Doom 2 and Rebel Yes 23. Those are my 2 backup channels. I hope that you'll follow me there. Okay. So I've showed you everything in part 1, showing you about the coding in Jay-Z's music, the coding that is in movies. I'm going to show you some of the groups that put out codes as well about who claims dominion over the United States. I'm going to show you all this. You know what's interesting, and something that I missed and something that we all missed when it comes to the 11, 11, 11, 11. What do I mean about the 11-year cycle that I've been talking about in videos up to like 5 days ago? I talked about 9/11 was going to be the Hoover Dam. Possibly. I didn't say I was making any predictions, but I said I believed it was the Hoover Dam because of the $50 bill, just like the $20 bill folded up, represents a 9/11 event. The $20 bill is 9/11/2001 folded up, and you see it. The $50 bill shows a dam and water coming over that dam. And I had assumed that it was possibly the Hoover Dam because the Hoover Dam had a light display show there in 2015 with the Cadillac logo on the front of it. Well, is it they chose the dam for the light display show for another reason? Because the $50 bill folded up also has a Cadillac logo on the bottom of the dam in that $50 bill. So what happened this 9/11/2023, everybody? A dam broke due to a storm, so they say. I'm going to show you some really interesting statements that are being made about this event in Libya. But before I do, I want to show you what we missed. Think about this. 9/11 to 1990, when George Herbert Walker Bush gave that speech to the American people, to the whole nation, about the coming new world order. And 11 years later was 9/11/2001. Both events took place surrounding the United States. It was pertaining to the United States. And then what happened in 9/11/2012? Libya. Benghazi, Libya happened. And then what happened on 9/11/2023? Libya again. And do you know what's interesting? Well, I'm going to show you. As you can see, an image that was taken in September 12th and September 2nd. So the satellite imagery shows us what is Libya looks like now, or the city of Derna. Now, I want to show you all of the flooding they show that took place on September the 11th. Due to Storm Daniel. And that's another interesting thing. Storm Daniel, repetitive. They keep saying it like that. And I'm reminded of the whole Donald Trump and the Stormy Daniels situation. I don't know why. I don't even know why that came into my head, but there was something somebody said in the comment section just a bit ago that I responded to. was that Donald Trump made he read some poem about some scorpion that she mentioned. I don't know what that's referring to, but I know that I was already thinking about this Stormy Daniel thing and this whole Storm Daniel, and I'm wondering if there's any kind of connection. Maybe very thin. But let's take a look at this and something that was said by the Red Crescent leaders. We're going to talk about the Red Crescent too here in just a little bit. Let's take a look at this. So, Libyan Red Crescent teams in the field, he said, described the disaster as like a bombardment and earthquake happening at the same time. What is interesting is we're having a lot of activity in Africa. Morocco, right at the tip of Africa, earthquake. Now there are people stating that there was a bright blue light that shined above the city in Morocco when that happened. And isn't it interesting that the name of that city where the earthquake took place in Morocco means the land of God? So now we have this 9/11 dam break that caused a huge flood. As a matter of fact, it wasn't one dam, it was two that broke. And there are people claiming that it sounded like some machine started up as it happened. And there is also a leader from the Red Crescent that is now speaking on BBC, stating that this doesn't look like anything that he ever saw other than an earthquake. Some of the buildings, the way the dam came down. So I ask myself, if you, just like we saw in the iPet Goat 2, where the thumbtacks are showing events that took place around the United States, Oklahoma, New York, the Deepwater Horizon, and Hurricane Katrina. If Hurricane Katrina was steered, wouldn't it be safe to say that if this storm was steered in, how would you want to guarantee that the dam came down? Can you cause an earthquake? It's interesting that in the Illuminati playing cards, there is indeed a card that says earthquake machine. But anyway, as you can see here, now let's take a look at the evidence from the event of this year, September 11th. I'd really like to know what exact time it was that this took place. Wouldn't it be really wild if it was 4:44 in the morning on September the 11th? Don't know. But as you can see, here's all the postings. September 11th, 10:23. Here is now what Derna, Libya looks like. September 12th, more apocalyptic scenes emerging. Here, September 11th, 11:47 in the morning. Now, I'm sure that this was posted at that time, but this is what was taking place that morning. You can't hear it. I can hear it because my phone is not capable to record these videos without my headphones in. So now what I want to do is we can keep going and going. God dang it. Sorry, everybody. Now, I don't know if you guys have seen this, but I guarantee you don't want to hear it because the people who are here in this video, it is very disturbing. This took place September the 11th in the morning. And these videos were all posted later on this day on the 11th. Okay. So what does this tell us? We have two events that took place back to back in Libya. 2012, 2023. And just like I was talking about in my video about something happening September the 11th, 2023 involving a dam. And yes, I did believe it was the Hoover Dam, but we do have an incident nonetheless. Now, I want to show you some of the, I'm going to forego the coding. I was going to show you AWOL Nation and about the owl, but I'm going to forego that because it's going to make this video go way longer, and I don't want to risk my app crashing again. Let us take a look at some interesting things regarding the number 11 and the red crescent. So we saw something about the red crescent right there, right? Let's take a look at IPET2 GOAT 2 again and take a look at a couple of key pieces. I already showed you the scorpion up in the sky near the sun at the end. And I also showed you the scorpion that was in the apocalyptic murals at the Johns Hopkins University. Let's take a look once again at IPET GOAT 2. The waves. Look at the waves on his eyebrows. Look at the enlightenment. Did you guys see the enlightenment all the way up on the top? Let's rewind it. Let's rewind it. And you will see the water waves that he has for eyebrows. You're going to see the enlightenment up on the very top. And then we're going to take a look at the red crescent.
Fool me one, fool me one, fool me one. Shame on, shame on.
There, did you see the enlightenment above the blackboard up there? That's going to be very important here coming up. Right there. There you go. And what is it about Libya, them being one of the most oil-rich countries? What is this all about? The red crescent, the scorpion, enlightenment. Well, let's take a look about the numbers 1111.
I told you twice, I swear I must have said 1,000 times. If I am the water and I am the rain, if I am the fire, then I am the flame.
1111. I'm in Spain.
What?
I'm in Barcelona.
You're serious?
Yeah, my brother and my father live here.
Dad's dying. I just thought you should know.
I go to bed every night praying I won't wake up in the morning. Pray to a God I know doesn't exist to run me down by car, and the day it finally happens, I walk away without a scratch.
It wasn't your time.
No, it is my time. I should have been sent to the morgue, not home. I want to ask you a question. You ever see a number reappearing in your life over and over again?
1110?
It's 1111. I was wearing that when I was in my car accident. It's the time of death on David's death certificate. Your attack happened at 1111.
You think because you're seeing some number over and over again that someone or something is trying to contact you?
It's a sign, right? It's an activation, but from whom?
The Bible warns about divination. If something is trying to get your attention, it's not holy.
So you do believe in demons?
I believe in God. And with that comes belief in the devil.
What was that?
They're here. Continue on, it's important that I explain to you about the goddess Kali and one of her incarnations. She has several incarnations. One of those incarnations is Parvati, the wife of Shiva, and very interesting that we have a statue of Shiva right there at CERN. One of the other incarnations of Kali is Devi, and that will be important to our presentation here coming up. Let's take a look at quite a bit of evidence right here that is going to tell us something about this 1111, I do believe. Possibility. Remember what I said in part 1. We're not making any predictions, but we're going to show you the evidence. What is very interesting that we have been talking about with these 11-year cycles is that from this year of 9/11 all the way back to 1990 was 33 years. 22 years to 2001, and 11 years from the last time of Benghazi. And what are the most powerful numbers? Are the master numbers, which are 11, 22, and 33. So what is the whole symbolism of the green comet entering into Virgo and exiting the womb? According to numerology, the number 11 is a highly spiritual number that brings divine into the world. Yes, brings divine into the world. And it is interesting that I brought up the whole 11-year cycle business, and this is what this says. Number 11 is the most spiritual number in numerology. This is because number 11 holds a very significant place in spirituality. In Hinduism, it is said that everything which is below 12 belongs to Devi, the incarnation of Kali. Look down at the bottom. This means that everything that is beyond the 12th dimension disappears into non-existence. Devi Sedana has 11 cycles. So before I started making this video and before it started to crash my app, I responded to somebody who had mentioned this article that I was going to be presenting to you all, and how right they were about this article, because this is something very special, and it's going to take us all the way right back to the it's going to take us right back to the apocalyptic murals at the Johns Hopkins University. Let's take a look at this article here. Or not. I just want to remind everybody about what we're talking about here, the scorpion that was Scorpio in iPet Go 2, the scorpion in the Johns Hopkins University. Let's read. 11/11, the date explained. The date of November 11th is believed to hold spiritual significance. It falls in the middle of Scorpio season, a sign of intensity, rebirth, and transformation, and the date itself is meant to represent this on a greater scale, particularly in relation to the concept of unity and divinity. Some people say that 11/11 is a portal for collective consciousness and the awakening of humanity. Do you remember the enlightenment that we saw in iPet Go 2? Oh boy, this day is meant to be a time when we come together with our truth, our soulmates, and our dreams as we recognize our oneness with all living beings. And I am reminded of the Georgia Guidestones. One of the commandments was to be one with nature. Isn't it interesting? The Georgia Guidestones were taken down. Helio font channels videos taken down, all at a very peculiar time when all of these things are going on around us right now. But let me keep reading to you, because then we're going to go take a look at this mural from Johns Hopkins University once again. And it should be here. The repeated numbers look like and represent a mirror image or reflection of two beings who are said to come together in perfect alignment. One of the most popular wedding dates is 11/11, and this year's is likely to be even more popular, as 11/11/23 falls on Saturn's Day. Saturn's Day. And do you know what's really interesting about 11/11 and 11? Do you guys remember 1918, the bringing to the end of the armistice of World War I? And the armistice was settled on the 11th hour of the 11th day of the 11th month. And it is very interesting that they've been using this symbology for even as far back as 1918, as we can see, because it was done intentionally. We know it was because they waited to the 11th hour to do it, to bring about the symbology of the numbers itself. But this November 11th is going to fall on Saturn's Day. Where did we see Saturn referenced? When it came to the Scorpio and when it came to the serpent dragon? Let's take a look at the Johns Hopkins apocalyptic mural. God dang it. There's the scorpion. There is the dragon. Remember the green dragon that was on the wall in iPet Goat 2? There is the symbol for Saturn right there on the dragon itself. And you know what's really interesting? Everything there related to what I would say... If I were to, I'm not making a prediction, but if I were to say, with all of the evidence that I've seen with them using codes in music, I can show you, and I'm going to leave you with one more code. We're going to take a look at the group AWOL Nation. And I want to show you that without a doubt, they tell you who runs this country. And it's the exact same symbolism that you see on the Bohemian Grove. It's the exact same symbolism that you see on some of the buildings at Yale University. That's right, the owl. It's the exact same symbol that's hidden on the $1 bill. The owl secreted right there behind the number 1. And as you can see, right here. What better day, with all that I've shown you, to pull something off on 11/11/23, because it falls on Saturn's Day. Let's take a look at AWOL Nation.
This is how an angel blame it on my ADD, baby.
Okay, so can you guys see that? Did you guys see the way that was written? And in both instances, What did they do? The camera focused in on a clue. And what was the clue that we saw on the wall? The pyramid with the all-seeing eye, right? They're telling you something, yes? Well, they're telling you something right here as well. We know that their name is AWOL Nation. We know that the groups like Imagine Dragons are putting out messages. Look at the song Radioactive. Look at the song My Enemy. Look at the song Thunder. Look at all of their songs. And if you listen or read the lyrics, you're going to see the messages that are in there. Right here. AWOL Nation does not spell their name AWOL''S as in the possessive. If you will look, the WOL is underlined. Does anybody know anything about Winnie the Pooh and how Owl spelled the word owl, his name? He spelled it WOL. This is telling you that this is an owl's nation. And if you take a look at iPet Go 2 and you look above the map of the United States, you're going to see the owl right above the map. Just like you have an owl secreted on the $1 bill. Just like you have an owl at the Bohemian Grove on the placard with the belt with the words, "Weaving spiders, come not here." I've already done many videos about Bohemian Grove and the true meaning behind that statement and what it means. Weaving spiders, come not here. But as I'm showing you that they're telling you the person or the entity, not the person, but the Kabbalic group that has laid claim to these United States as ownership, as seen by the writing right here, the possessive, that this is a owl's nation. So, my friends, just to show you that we've looked at the coding of 444, I've showed you a music video with 1111. I've showed you the movie. I've showed you that 1111 is a very special number to Kali. Kali was on the light display at the Empire State Building. Yes. And now, does everybody else remember that that commercial years ago? It was probably in 2014 and 15. And I can't remember. There was a race car of some sort. And the guy was doing the symbol for Kali, sticking out his tongue. And I can't remember what something Eagle was the name of the YouTube channel years ago, but it was all displayed for us in a commercial. I wish I could remember what that commercial was, because I sure could have used it presenting this all to you here. So, with all of that said, think about what we've just seen in Libya, not once, but twice. 2012, 2023. Is something going to take place related to 1111? And isn't it very interesting that the symbol for Saturn is right there on that dragon? The red crescent was right there in iPet Go 2. The Enlightenment is right there in iPet Go 2. The Scorpion is in iPet Go 2 and at the Johns Hopkins University, giving us a clue that this has to do with the zodiacal sign of Scorpio. Kali is all about death and destruction. These people are making these things come to pass. They are showing you that, well, I would say that they're forcing prophecy to come to pass to fit an agenda that they have for all of us. All right, everybody, I'll leave you guys with that. Thanks.